Welcome to the Crooked Stripes Podcast, where your hosts discuss various aspects of lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal. Let these two friendly Canucks help you cultivate a different outlook on the green industry. And with that, here are your hosts, Brendan Brubaker and Martin Hodder.
All right, guys, we are back for another episode. Martin, man, how are you feeling?
Finally better. It was a rough battle after that snow. Got sick as a dog for a few weeks. Caught myself COVID, but we're here. We're back recording a new one.
You hopped on the COVID train for a week. You were just struggling. You were texting me.
I was in rough shape. I wasn't doing too much moving, but here we are. Back, baby.
Yep, we're back. Awesome. And we got a very special guest today. Me and Martin have known this guy for a few years. We met him at a quit. We've kind of stayed in contact over the years. Welcome to the podcast, Kyle Breiner.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Glad to be here.
Yep, it's great to have you on, man. Yeah, we've kind of stayed, in chats through Instagram and TikTok over the last 4 or 5 years now. And so when I met you in person, it was pretty cool, seeing you face to face. So.
Yeah, it's really good when you can finally meet your social media friends that you communicate with all the time. We had a blast down there at Equip. We're already looking forward to next year, or this year.
Yeah, I keep saying next year too, but it's not even that far away now. It's like 5 months, and it's like ready to roll again. So I assume you guys are going back?
Yeah, we need to get our hotels or our hotel a little earlier this year so we can maybe get a better spot.
Yeah, I know. We got to book our hotels too. Well, I think we're going same spot because that was just beauty right downtown.
Yeah, super convenient. So
yeah. We'll have to
I can't even remember where we were at, but I know we waited a little bit late, so we'll have to do better on that this year.
Yeah, nice. We'll have to get the gang together and, have a good night together. So that'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unreal. Yeah, Kyle, why don't you just kind of touch on like where you're located and kind of what you guys got going on down in Ohio?
So my wife and I, we own Briner's Lawn and Landscape based out of Circleville, Ohio. So we're central Ohio, just a little south of Columbus, maybe 30 minutes away from Columbus. We operate a lawn and landscape company that primarily focuses on landscape design, landscape maintenance, lawn care, so mowing. We don't do any fertilization. We subcontract some of that stuff out. And then we do a little bit of hardscapes as well.
Nice. So you're doing like a full variety of services, kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we probably have a quarter of our business is mowing, and then 3/4 is more landscaping, and then the hardscaping is probably the least amount we do, but those are some of the bigger projects. We maybe do between 5 and 10 paver patios a year, maybe a few paver walkways, maybe a retaining wall or two. We do a lot of landscape installs, tear outs and installs where we're ripping out everybody's old stuff that needs redone and planting all new stuff, or installs at new builds, maybe new homes or new condos, things like that, and just doing all their stuff, creating all the new beds, all the new plants, trees, and then a lot of landscape maintenance that it's pretty straightforward stuff, going in, edging beds, trimming shrubs, laying down fresh mulch, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think I seen you had a reel of that doing the other day of you doing some new bed mulching there, I think, through your social.
Yeah, I posted one, I think it was yesterday, a place where the edges look really nice, and it was a good transformation video from the old faded rough-looking mulch from the previous year and putting down that nice black really made it pop on that video.
Yeah, made it nice and crispy.
Nice. That's
yep,
awesome.
It'll be back to it here just a couple more days where almost there, about a week away, and we're going to be getting back out there. We've been kind of slow for the last couple months, which is typical for us. We didn't get much snow this year, and when we do get snow, we only have a couple accounts anyways. So we do that as well, but that's a real small portion of our business. But I think we've talked about it before. We don't mind kind of taking it easy a little bit for 3 months in the winter, because we certainly make up for it in the spring rush season, late March till about mid-July. It's go, go, go around here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, the rest of the year, mid-July to around early December, it goes down to just a pretty typical work schedule. We still stay busy and have stuff to do every day, but we don't have 50 jobs on the schedule at one time, and we're starting a new job sometimes at 2 or 3 in the afternoon to get more stuff done, because we got so much. You know, if we get our stuff done at 2 or 3 o'clock and maybe only work a 7-hour day, then all good.
Yeah. No more push until nighttime, just trying to stay on top of everything.
Yeah, exactly. The spring's tough too with the rain. You know, as busy as we are, and then trying to keep the mowing on the weekly schedule. You know, around here in April and May, we can get a day where it just pours all day, and then that day you can't get anything done, and it can even lead into the next day. And, you know, that kind of stuff fouls things up when you need all the time you can get.
Definitely makes a messier schedule when you get those rain days, and then even if you get one day, then the next day it's still wet and it's 2 or 3 days to dry out.
Yep.
Next thing you know, your Monday cuts are getting done on Thursday, and then it's just
And everything's super long and thick.
Yeah, and we try to mow usually on Fridays, a little bit on Thursdays, because, you know, with doing much more landscaping than mowing, we usually can get it done in one long day. The mowing day is usually a long day, and sometimes it's a piece of another day, but we like to do it late in the week so people's properties look good for the weekend. But yeah, to keep it on that weekly schedule, you get fouled up with rain Thursday, Friday. That pushes you to doing it all on Saturday. And then you guys know, you know, if you get screwed up there, you get several days of rain, then it pushes it into the next week, and then it gets your weekly schedule all fouled up.
Yeah.
So
you're trying to do a lawn Monday, then you're set to cut it again Friday. Doesn't really work that well with the customer.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can do that sometimes, or if I do that, I'll try to like mow it Saturday, so it's like one more day, and then bump it back to Friday, mow it on 6 days the next week. We've done that sometimes, or sometimes if it's early enough in the spring and stuff's not growing too crazy, if you get it Monday, you could push it to like Wednesday the following week, so cut it on 10 days and then cut it on maybe 9 days the next week.
Yeah,
right. Get it back on Friday that way, but then you lose
a week of cuts,
a week of revenue from those mows. So we try to avoid that if we can.
Mm-hmm. Now, are your mowings, are they done on like a per cut basis, or do you do like seasonal pricing, or how do you set up that sort of mowing?
Yeah, all our stuff's per service, so we just bill each mow for the services that we actually perform. Okay. We don't have anybody on annual. We did have a condo complex a few years ago, which was an annual contract, so that was a little bit different. But we still had a set amount of mows that were in that contract that we were shooting to hit for the season.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Cool. Are you sticking to mainly residential, or are you doing a little commercial now?
We're right now probably like 90% residential. We have a few commercial places, but mostly residential. And we're not opposed to commercial. We've had some opportunities that we haven't pursued, maybe because of what the contracts entailed, whether it be irrigation, servicing, which we really don't mess with that, or some places maybe had big areas that needed plowed for snow, which we tried to not do too much of. So that's probably kept us more on the residential side than if we would have pursued all those opportunities. But who knows? Maybe it'll evolve over the next few years. We might get more into commercial as we can grow a little bit and maybe get a few more good members on our team.
So all the commercial ones, they're looking for like year-round service with like the full package. They're not looking for just lawn and maintenance.
Most of them, most of like the corporate type places, it seems like, or just any place. I think a lot of the commercial we do is stuff where it's not as involved with a annual contract that includes
Gotcha.
so many different things, whether it be irrigation, snow, a lot of the stuff like some of the commercial places we do is just landscaping, spring, fall cleanup, mulch, weed maintenance, things like that. Some include mowing, but yeah, that's where we're at.
I agree. I like the residential stuff. That's what we do a lot of we do a good chunk of that as residential too. It's kind of our little niche, and commercial's so cutthroat too. Like our residential ones, they'll stay with you forever as long as you give them good service. They're not going to leave over a $5 price increase, where a commercial property, $100, they're gone. So it's like,
well, yeah, exactly. We like residential kind of for the same reason you said. You build that relationship with that client, you do phenomenal work for them, and you have that, you're servicing them year after year, and they're never going to let you go as long as you're taking care of them with great service. And then they're a lot of times your biggest supporter, telling friends and family, and we've grown our business a lot through word of mouth that way. And yeah, like you said, a lot of the commercial stuff is like they want the cheapest price. They don't care. Like we mowed Aldi. Are you guys familiar with the grocery store Aldi? You guys have those up there?
Nope.
No dice.
Okay, so that's a grocery store down here. There's a lot of them around, but we mowed them the last 2 years, and then they just cancel us for somebody who's like $5 or $10 cheaper a mow. And last year, they canceled us for somebody like $10 cheaper a mow. Then that person stopped showing up after like 2 mows in the spring. Their grass got a foot tall, and then they're calling us, begging us to be there in 2 days to get it cleaned up and start mowing for them again. So we did, and took care of them. And then again this year, didn't even send us the contract to a bid this year. They just emailed and said, hey, wanted to let you know we gave the contract to somebody else.
After getting
and it's not based on it's not based on quality, because we do great work. It's based on them probably saving a couple bucks.
Right.
So
yeah, like I said, it's just kind of, I don't know, a blend of the two, right? You just got to find what works. And like I said, residential works for us. I mean, we do some commercial stuff, but
us too.
A lot of it is residential's nice.
Yeah.
And you get a lot more work with them too.
Oh, I know. We've had some good luck with commercials around here in Elmira. I don't know if I just found making a point to always say hi to the big dog, right? And if I'm on the job, of course, I don't know, it goes a long way. And then you usually get their house, and then that's how you can sneak in there, right? So we've had some decent luck doing that.
Beauty. What are you using for your mowing?
We have 2 Skags, a Turf Tiger 2 and a Tiger Cat 2, both with the 61-inch decks. Then we have a Gravely Pro X or Pro Z. I'm second guessing myself. I think it's Pro X 52, and it's another one of our zero turns. And we also are an ambassador for Cub Cadet, and we use several of their mowers throughout the season as well.
Nice. I remember you talking about that at Equip. You said they sent you a few different ones. They kind of tried a couple different models, and I think you had a stand on at the time when we were down there.
Yeah, we demoed 3 last year. One was a zero turn that was a steering wheel unit, so that was unique and nice to demo in the spring. And then we used a stand on, which was similar to like a Skag V ride. And then we still have the one right now. I think we're going to use this spring. It's a 72-inch lap bar zero turn, so that's a nice
Okay.
mower as well.
That steering wheel mower, is that with that zero gravity seat that like adjusts, depending on what pitch you're mowing?
It had an air ride, so it like had real good
Okay.
like give to it, but I don't know as much about the pitch side to side. I don't think that it did that.
You remember that?
They had it equipped. That was that new feature.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was on those mowers yet.
Oh, okay.
I think it was coming out for 2024. I think
it keeps you flat, kind of.
Yeah.
It adjusts with, how the mower is. So, okay.
Mouse said that was one of their battery units maybe that they were coming out with.
Oh, the electric one. What would you prefer? A sit down zero turn or a stand on?
Sit down.
You like the sit down? Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of good sized places. We're out more in a rural area, so we have several large properties, a handful of those, and you're mowing for an hour to 2 hours. So definitely sit down. And then we have some that are smaller residential, like in town and things like that, which even those still, I've always just preferred sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did years ago, I had an X-Mark Turf Tracer 52, which those were great, like walk behinds with the pistol grips for like doing hills and things like that. I really liked that mower. That thing cut great. But for the most part, I think we'll probably stay with the sit-down units.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. How did the Cub Cadet stand on compared to your V-Ride?
It did good. I enjoyed it. It was a great mower. Yeah.
Okay.
It was comfortable and it was real good on hills too.
Nice. Yeah, we got one of those 3 years ago or whatever, and I loved it. I know some people said they don't hold up to the V-Ride maybe, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I think after using them, they're right up there with the top, which, Skag's one of the best, which we like, but Cub Cadet is pretty much right there.
Yeah, I totally agree.
They've came a long way in the last few years. I know, because they used to, I think, focus more heavily on high-end, like, residential mowers. Mm-hmm. But it's been, I don't know how many years now that they've beefed up their line with commercial units, but I think they're great.
Yeah, I heard it was when the right stand-on patent ran out. That's when Cub Cadet created their stand-on, and I don't know, that's how they came out with it. So kind of
nice. Just getting in the commercial line. Like I said, everyone who seems to use them seems to like them. So like I said, whatever works for you, whatever you use, it's comfortable and cuts grass.
Yeah,
makes
and
grass
a little lower price point too with the Cub Cadets, I've noticed. So helps a bit. So cool, man. Are you just solo, or do you got some guys working for you? I know we were chatting a little bit before we started this about that.
Yeah, so we're still a pretty small family-owned operation. We're trying to get more employees on our team because we have the work and we're trying to get to that next level. We've pretty much always ran one crew, but we're trying to get to a point where we could branch off to 2 crews. Last year, it was 3 full-time guys out there every day, including myself, and then we had 2 to 3 other part-time helpers who were around a day or 2 each in the spring maybe to help us out during that spring rush busy season. But yeah, we're in the process right now of doing interviews and trying to get some good members on our team. We're trying to hire 2 full-time guys because one of our guys left at the end of last season. So if we can get 2 more good ones right now on our team, that would give us 4 full-time guys, including myself, on the crew every day. And then that would give us the opportunity with our foreman to break up a little bit some days and do 2 crews and it would be 2 small crews, 2 crews of 2, but for like medium-sized jobs, like if it's a cleanup and mulch with 8 yards of mulch, 2 guys can go knock that out in a day, no problem. Then on the bigger days, bigger projects, we could have 4, and then and then we got a couple of those part-time guys who we're hoping are still going to be around this spring and summer, and that we can work those guys in whatever works out best. So if we do 2 crews and we got a 5th guy for the day, we could do 3 and 2.
He can float back and forth where needed, type of
right.
Deal.
It'll give us more options, or our foreman could take the 3 guys and go do a big cleanup and mulch job or something like that. And if I needed to go knock out a little bit of mowing, if we got behind because of rain or whatever, just trying to get to that point where we have a little bit more options and flexibility.
Yeah, just opens it up for you to kind of, like I said, be more flexible and kind of make. Yeah. And that's how we do it. We run, like, pretty much all ours are like crews. We have a hardscape crew, which is 3, but everything else is crews of 2. And then, like I said, on those big jobs, we might send 3 crews to 1 job. But for the most part, it's like 2 guys are here, 2 are here. And it's just what we found works really well. Like 2 guys, you get 2 guys that work well together, and they can, like I said, you can knock out a lot of work with 2 guys, and sometimes you get too many there, and it's like too many people, and
I know sometimes
not nearly as productive.
Yeah, 3 on the lawn. Sometimes you're tripping over each other, right? That's what we found.
Yeah, I've been thinking about different options for our mow route because last year we did 3 guys riding the mow route, and being in a rural area, our route density for mowing isn't great at all. But we make it work. But I was thinking, like, man, if we have 4 running that route, it's almost like the efficiency with the 4th guy isn't going to be ideal. So I don't know. We could maybe do 3 run it after we get the guys trained up, and then maybe myself or our foreman that we have on salaried all year long, maybe myself or him could take one of the mowers and go knock out several of the multi-acre properties in a day solo, while the other 3 guys are knocking out most of the route. And then that would take those 3 or 4 big properties off the route, so it would save a ton of time on the main route, and 1 guy could knock out in an 8 to 10 hour day those 3 or 4 big properties.
That's how I love mowing by myself. That's what I love it. Like, I send the 2 other guys mowing, and then I'll just take a trailer, throw the stand on it, and just go cut. It's like I don't get me wrong, I like cutting with the other guys too, but like that's my thing. I just hop in, go, and just knock out as many lawns as I can. It just saves the boys like a day of mowing.
That's I
like it as well.
Yeah, so I think that's a good play, right? Because once you get 4 guys in a truck, and you said if you're driving even 15 minutes between the lawn, there's a 1 full man hour gone.
Yeah.
Right there, right?
Yeah,
so
ours aren't all 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But we do have a couple that are, 10 to 15 minutes. We do one, and then it's 10 minutes to the next one, and some are 5 minutes away, 4 minutes. I mean, some are closer, and some are real close, like on the same street or a couple houses down. But we definitely don't have like some people do, where you go in a neighborhood and you knock out a bunch. When I got started, where I grew up, when I was in high school, I worked for a guy for a lot of years, and where I grew up is nothing but nice cookie cutter neighborhoods with nice homes and 1/4 acre size lawns. And he had like 2 neighborhoods that were like a mile apart, where he had like 40 in each neighborhood. So we'd go on a street, and there 2 guys would have weed eaters and 2 guys would have turf tigers, and the guys on the mowers would just go house to house, just striping them up, and 2 guys following behind, weed eating. And then when it was appropriate, then someone would fall back and blow 4 or 5 houses off, and it was a efficient operation.
Yeah. You park the trailer once and mow like 10 houses. That's like, because that's what we try to do with our residential stuff. We have it so like there's some spots where we have like 7, 8 houses on like a little cul-de-sac or whatever. You pull in, you drop it, bang, 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 hop back on the trailer, drive 2 streets over, and do it again. So
I want to say that he said it was the record, and this is like 20 years ago, but I want to say one day we were behind or something, and he had a couple extra guys who had worked come in, and it was like 7 guys, and we knocked out like 70 or something in one day, both those neighborhoods.
Yeah, wow. That's a lot of grass cutting.
It's a lot of mowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 3, 4 mowers going, 3 guys trimming, a guy or 1 or 2 guys just on blowers all day long.
That'd be a long day just blowing.
No kidding. Kyle, do you guys do the flower bed maintenance kind of ongoing as you mow, or how do you offer that too?
It depends. We have some people that's just strictly mowing, and that's all we do. Then we have some people that it's just strictly landscaping, and it's just a spring cleanup and mulch install in the spring.
Okay.
And then a lot of those people, we usually do a fall cleanup as well, but not all. But then we do offer a monthly maintenance service for a few people, or the people that want to sign on for it, where we do monthly maintenance of the beds, spraying and pulling of weeds, cleaning up any debris. If every once in a while, if something's needs trimmed in between the spring and fall cleanup, we might do some light trimming. But a lot of that's more our landscape customers. We don't do it for too many mowing, just maybe a couple.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. What's your go-to for your trimmers and stuff? Are you a Stihl guy, Echo?
As far as our hedge trimmers or our line trimmers? Well, both. I can just answer both. Our line trimmers, we do Stihl, but our hedge trimmers, we like Echo. But we've also been using the Green Machine battery equipment as of last year, and they make some pretty good stuff. The line trimmer is probably better suited for a residential homeowner who's doing their own property. It would work great. It doesn't work quite as well as the Stihls for commercial lawn service where you're knocking out 20 lawns in a day. Mm-hmm. But their other stuff, like their hedge trimmer, works great, cuts great. Their blower, chainsaw work great. I've been cutting trees down at my property this winter because we're going to install a big patio this year, and I've been using my Green Machine chainsaw over my Stihl. I just like it better.
I'm a big fan of the battery stuff too. Like the trimmers and stuff, I haven't, like a line trimmer, haven't really dealt with yet. Because like you said, the same thing. You're not getting enough battery time to do it. Like,
right.
You'd need 10 batteries. But like for like the hedge trimmer, you can get a full. We have a Milwaukee one now that we use, and like we're getting a full day of trimming out of like a 12 amp hour battery. Like that's tough to beat.
Pretty good.
I'm liking the battery stuff. It's convenient too, not having to mess with the gas and.
Oh yeah,
yes. It's nice.
That's what I really find with the chainsaw too, because I have a Milwaukee chainsaw as well, and I just got a Crest one. It just came in the other day, so we're gonna give that a whirl. But that was a problem. Like, we don't cut trees every day, but when we do, I find like we might use our Stihl saw, and then it'll sit for 3 months, and you go to pull it out, and it's all gummed up, and the carbs and it's just it's more work to get it out going again than it is to go do the actual job. So that's what's nice with the electric, and they're so much quieter.
Yeah, that's exact same thing with us. There's times where our Stihl saw sits for 2 months, and we don't use it, and the exact same thing, getting it up and going again instead of the battery. You just pop that battery in and you're good to roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they're nice for sure. So, and what about trailers for you? Are you running open trailers and closed trailers? I meant to ask you Jack about mowing.
Yeah. We just got our fourth trailer, which is a hydraulic unit, and we just got a skid steer finally, which is a nice addition for our business. So that hydraulic trailer is going to be used to transport that skid steer when we need to, or it could be used to haul 2 or 3 mowers. It doesn't have sides though, so the mowers would have to be definitely strapped down every time if we used it for mowers. And obviously a skid steer is going to be strapped down also. But then we have 2 utility trailers. One is a little single axle trailer. That is the trailer we got years back, was kind of what helped us get our start. So we still have that guy around that we actually use a bit, not every day. Sometimes it might sit for a month and not get used, but it does help out when we need an extra little trailer to throw some debris on or haul that one mower if someone's going to mow solo. Then we have a longer utility trailer. I think it's 16 foot, and then we have a 14 foot dump trailer, a PJ dump trailer. That's really nice. That is a workhorse for us. We use that dump trailer all the time. We don't have any enclosed. We would like one. It would be great for our mowers. Then we could get all that shop space back, because we're always unloading at the end of the mowing day and having to reload. You got those few extra minutes, which isn't that big of a deal, but it takes up a lot of shop space having 4 zero turns, and our shop isn't huge. So we'll see. Who knows, down the road we may get enclosed for the mowers.
Nice. So you got a good variety of them. So that hydraulic trailer, is that like a hydraulic tilt, or is it like one of the ones where the whole deck lowers?
Tilt.
Okay, nice. I'm in the market. I need one of those too.
Wicked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
you
hauling
could use that.
because we have a little equipment trailer we use to haul the skid steer now, but putting it up those 2 single ramps is like, I think a little tilt would be a little nicer bus.
Yeah, we could put that skid steer in our dump trailer if we really wanted to. A guy who works with me on some of our hardscape projects does that all the time with his skid steer, but like you said, going up those steep ramps
Yeah.
it's a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, first time you have to check your underwear afterwards. When you first come over, you just tilt and drops. But
it's a little that'll get you. I know.
What
Kyle,
what type of skid steer did you buy before you?
John Deere.
Nice.
Yeah. It's used, but it's in great shape, and it's heavy duty, like 450 or 550. I can't remember the number actually, but it's heavy duty. It can lift some stuff, because we need it to be able to lift a full pallet of pavers and have no problem. And I know some of the small skid steer units, the lower end ones, sometimes heavy skid of pavers, might be a little much. The back end might be lifting up on you. You have guys standing on the back to level it out.
Down.
Yeah.
Now that'll definitely save you a pile of labor for sure. Manual.
Because there's been times we've had extra pavers from a job, and when we get back to the shop, we're unloading them one by hand. And stacking them by hand back onto a pallet. It's just going to be so much nicer for so many different things.
That'll be great.
Is it tracked or wheeled?
Wheels.
Nice. Good stuff.
Cool.
Tracks would be better, right? You tear the ground up less with tracks.
Yeah, true. And you're a big Chevy guy, aren't you?
Kind of. I mean, I don't have any big loyalty to it, but one exciting thing for us is we did add our 3rd truck last year, but it's Ford. So we got a F550 dump truck in the late spring, which has got a 10-foot bed. So it's got a little bit of the longer dump bed, which is nice. But we got that mid to late June last year, which was the back end of our spring rush season. And then we got the 2 pickups. We got a Chevy 1500 and a Chevy 2500 HD. It's going to be really nice for this whole spring season to have that 3rd truck. That's a big, heavy-duty dump truck. I always joke and call it a big boy work truck, that we finally got our big boy work truck instead of just having a regular pickup.
Yeah.
You know, we got the big dump truck now, and it'll give us so many more options. It's going to make things more efficient as far as running for materials, especially. We do some big rock jobs and some big mulch jobs sometimes, where that'll save us that extra trip back to get materials. Plus, we didn't do it a whole lot last year, but I'm sure we'll do it more this year, having it all spring, that some of the bigger projects where we need more materials or we're hauling a bunch of debris away, we'll take all 3 trucks and 3 different trailers all to the same job site, you know, with everybody on big stuff, and just gives us more options and will make things more efficient.
That's what like the F550. Like, I'm a Chevy guy for the most part, but man, they make a nice work truck with that big dump box on the back. Like, that thing will take a pile of weight. And
yeah, I wanted to kind of keep it consistent with Chevy, but when we started kind of looking for a dump truck last year, a 3rd truck, a good deal came up for this one, and we just jumped on it.
Yeah, I'm a good.
We went from kind of looking.
Sound like Martin.
Good deal. I don't care what's on the front of it.
Can't pass up a good deal.
No,
I can't.
Yeah, we went from like semi looking for a few days and like thinking about it to like hearing about one that was at the dealership like 10 minutes down the road, and we just pulled in and bought it.
Yeah,
because
nice.
The deal was pretty good on it for in comparison to what other ones were selling for that were comparable. So
nice. Gotta love it. You can never have enough things that dump.
Honestly.
Oh yeah, I know.
Just a little insert in the back of a pickup is so beneficial, right?
So will you haul your dump trailer with that as well?
Yeah, we have. And when we do that, you can, like, if you get rock in both, you can really get a lot, because we, or like gravel, like, so we've done some hardscapes where we've needed a ton of crushed limestone, and you can get 5 tons in each, and you can even go above that. You shouldn't do it often. You know, you can do probably 7 in each, and I have, but you definitely don't want to be doing that frequently, and you're kind of a little bit over what you should be. But like 5 tons and 5 tons is pretty.
That's a solid load. Like, that's
pretty standard. Or this year for like mulch, you know, if we load them both up with mulch, we should be able to get like 15, 16 yards of mulch just in that one rig going down the road. So
do you put bigger sides on it, or do you have like big sideboards on it now or anything? Or?
We just put the standard 2x12 boards bolted on the side where they have the slots for it, so that gives us more, little more room to get a little more capacity, a couple more yards of mulch or whatever we got in there. One nice thing is, you guys were talking about you can never have enough things that dump. You know, we've talked about it since we're small, and we're still in the first several years of growing this thing. We still do a lot of stuff manually, and we're trying to get, you know, gradually invest in the stuff to lower that down a little bit. So like the skid steer obviously is going to help this year with that. But we dump a lot of times on our property, which is we have a several acre property out in the country. And but there was a lot of times where we would shovel all our stuff off by hand, because if you would dump it out of that dump trailer, it would keep expanding that pile wider and wider the way it dumps out of a dump trailer, compared to shoveling it off where you can kind of pile it up high instead of out wide. But now that we have that skid steer, we'll be able to more often use the dump trailer for debris. Then we can just dump it for a week and then use the skid steer to push it all back in a dense pile, so we're not taking over our whole property with a dump pile.
That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, I always see your videos and stuff, and you've done a lot of stuff manually, and I'm like, man, I couldn't do it anymore. I've done it. Don't get me wrong, but now it's like once you have like a machine, it's like, and I think you'll notice that this year with your skid steer, like it's like, man, how did I ever do it like that for so long?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. It's like anytime you get a nice piece of equipment like that, whether it was when we got our dump trailer or the dump truck, now the skid steer, you like wonder how you got by without it.
No kidding. But I mean, when you do your manual, like, you know, you guys would do manual, like digging out a little tree and like, you know, stumps like that. I don't know. It looks good on social media, and those posts seem to get a hell of a lot of likes and views, right?
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that. I've done videos certain ways and done work certain ways for the social media content. I'm sure a lot of people have.
You're talking to the guys.
Yeah. So what's funny about that is right around equip time last year, I wanted to get a good video using the Green Machine chainsaw. So I cut a small tree down, and me and my buddy dug it out with our King of Spades shovels, which are awesome tools. You can use them for all kinds of stuff. The stump was a little tougher than I anticipated it being, so it was harder than I thought. But all in all, from cutting it down and digging it out, it took us like 20 minutes, which, you know, we could have done it other ways. Like I had a truck right there. I could have ripped it out with a chain, but I did it that way because I know people like seeing people work hard in that like satisfying content. So we dug on it hard and worked hard for 20 minutes, got the thing out. Well, I got probably on TikTok and Instagram like a total of 10 million views on that video, but I got 1,000 comments of people like, two idiots digging out a tree, like you should have used your truck, like you got a truck right there, you're a retard or a moron and all this stuff. And I commented back to some like, I don't know, do you ever think that someone might do a video a certain way or do work a certain way for the video content they're making? Or people would say that we had it hyperlapse where we sped it up, and people say, oh, you know, all day to dig out one tree. And I'm like, no, it was about 20 minutes, but you know, it didn't take us 5 hours. I mean, I see we were working hard, so I could see watching it why you might think it was several hours, but it was only like 20 minutes.
People just love to hate on there. But I mean, it works. So the more people comment and hate on it, your video just keeps, so it's like they're trying to be a dick, but at the same time, it helps. Like, go ahead, comment all the shit you want because it just keeps coming back and back. And
I try not to, but I've gotten into it with a couple of ones. I was like, throw some more insults at me. The more comments you put on my post, the more engagements for me. And they're like, oh, good for you and your social media points or something. And it's just like, whatever. I mean, we've talked about this, like, no one's successful or doing good things in their life or is on there hating and being negative. All the successful people we know, all our buddies, all our entrepreneur friends that are successful and good people, they don't got time to do that. And they're on there building other people up, you know, putting positive comments on their stuff or, you know, supporting people. All the people that put negative stuff on there, then you click on their account every once in a while and it's like private page, 2 followers, 3 posts, or 7 followers, 1 post. Like it's never somebody with
turtle. Exactly.
It's never somebody with a big successful business that's doing great things in their life.
No.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I know, always trying to put out positivity out there to beat down the negative pricks out there. And TikTok can be the worst for it, right? There's some weapon people on there.
People are savages on TikTok.
Yes.
But, oh well,
that's
all kinds.
Yeah, it's all fun. Yeah, you've been posting for quite a few years now, Kyle?
Yeah, I want to say, let's see, about 4 years ago, probably.
Yeah, right.
Started.
Yeah. Nice.
And I focus heavily on Instagram, but we focus on TikTok as well. I started YouTube, but I haven't done a whole lot with it. I should devote more energy to it. We do Facebook as well, but that's more to generate leads and business in our area. I don't put like too many of the satisfying reels and things like that on there. But yeah, primarily Instagram. It's tough to diversify into so many. You guys know when you're running your business and you got your responsibilities with family and things like that. It gets hard to spend so much time on social media.
It's pretty much a second job.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely is.
Definitely is.
Especially once you have some sponsorships and work with some companies being an ambassador, it definitely becomes a second job.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, it's all fun and good making videos, but like to make a half decent video, it takes half the day, right? Got to film it and then you got to cut it up, and it takes a lot of work. So
Sure.
Yeah, that's one reason I haven't really done YouTube a whole lot. Like, yeah, you can do the shorts and try to it can be very similar to Instagram Reels or TikTok, but to do the long form like YouTube, to make good quality videos that are like 10 to 15 minutes, which I think the 10 to 15 minute range is like kind of a hot spot, because if you go much longer than that, I think it's hard to keep people engaged on your content that you're putting out there. But yeah, that, like you said, it probably takes half a day to do all that, when you could be spending that time bidding on new stuff, trying to land new work, or out mowing, or out on a project, or
Yeah, it's trying to find that balance between the two of them, because like I think everyone that's ever come on here, everyone I've ever talked to that does like Instagram stuff says, oh yeah, we're going to do YouTube. I'm the same way. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll make a YouTube channel, no problem. I'll take videos, blah, blah, blah. I post like one video, and then it's like 2.5 months later, I'm like, shit, I forgot about YouTube. Then I'll post something else. And it's just like, it's a lot. It's just where Instagram stuff is just so much easier. It's just quick little video. Yeah, edit it on the app, put it up, and then
some music. I know.
Yeah.
YouTube's a beast.
Yeah. The people that do it, all the props to them.
No
I couldn't.
kidding.
Yeah. I can do shorts, and that's about where it stops. So.
Yeah, I hear you. There's you guys seen Nathan's Lawns and Gardens on Instagram and TikTok?
Oh yeah, I follow
from
him.
Australia.
Yeah.
He does YouTube and stuff, and he posts the most satisfying stuff like nonstop. It's crazy on his Instagram and TikTok. Like once or twice a day, he's got these satisfying like transformation videos where I don't know, he just transforms these properties that are a wreck into like clean and stuff. And he's got like 2 million followers on TikTok, 1.5 million on Instagram, and I don't know how many on YouTube, but I think he's like a huge ambassador for Echo Tools.
Right. Yeah, him
I
and
think
SB
we talked
Mowing.
about him. Yeah, we talked about him at.
Oh yeah, I think we
Clip.
did talk about him.
Yeah, because he had his
he's come
poster
to
on the
Clip
wall.
this year.
Oh,
is he?
nice. From Australia.
Yeah,
Making the trek.
he's never been to the States before, he said. So I was talking with him.
Nice.
I might try to get with him and make a video when he comes out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that'd
his
be
stuff is
awesome.
super. And he does like trimming and stuff too, right? Like he does
Yeah.
like.
Oh
pruning and
yeah,
stuff.
like really nice trimming, like big hedges and stuff. And
Nice. Kyle, what do you guys do for a work week? Are you Monday to Friday, or do you get into some weekend stuff?
we try to be Monday through Friday, but there are definitely some Saturdays. In the spring, we work Saturdays when we get behind on our mowing schedule, which we try to mow Thursday, Friday. I think I mentioned that earlier, but we try to mow Thursday, Friday, get people's properties looking nice for the weekend. So if we get rain on either of those days, Saturday's almost a guarantee. But we try to get in and out as fast as we can on Saturday. We try to make those not long days if we can. I do some hardscape stuff on the weekends sometimes, but we try to keep it to Monday through Friday as much as we can. But there are definitely a handful of Saturdays in the spring and other times, but it's rare unless it's during the spring rush season. And then unfortunately, I even work a few Sundays here and there too. But I try to stay away from those, but I may work 5 or 6 Sundays a year, whether it's if I'm finishing up a patio project or something like that I want to not have to go into the next week, or, if a little bit of mowing needs done that didn't get wrapped up on the previous week's schedule, I may go out, or me and my foreman might go out and mow like 2 of those big, like, multi-acre properties or something like that, just for a few hours.
And do you do most of the pricing yourself? And are you doing that like on the weekends or evenings, or how do you kind of work that into your schedule?
Yeah, so my wife and I still pretty much do everything. And we call her the backbone of the business because she does all the administrative stuff, or 90% of it. And I help out with some of it. So yeah, we're still doing all the pricing, and we do that whenever we can squeeze it in. Every once in a while, it might be early morning. We might do a couple bids, get those out. But a lot of times it's evening. There's sometimes we're emailing them out at 10, 11 at night during the week, or we'll try to maybe knock some out on weekends, maybe on Sunday afternoon or something when we're thinking about our next week and we know we've got some from previous week's appointments that we'll try to get knocked out.
Awesome.
Now, long term, and this is going to be a several-year process, but our foreman that we brought in, that's on annually with us, has a sales background, and we're hoping that some of the administrative tasks that we're still doing and Mallory's doing, we can transition to him after he's with us a little longer and learns the business, to take a little bit of that off our plate. This year, he's going to start going to some appointments on his own, to go get all the information we need to do our bids, like meeting with potential clients, looking at the properties, finding out what work needs done, getting photos and stuff for us, and then bringing that information back to us so we can get our bids out and that kind of stuff.
That'd be awesome.
But
That'd not, like take a lot of weight off your guys' shoulders if you have someone that can kind of knock that information out consistently, for sure.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. And Mallory, she still sells insurance 3 days a week. But she does a full-time job in 3 days. So the 3 days she's at her office, she's working super hard when she's there. She's not messing around since she crams a full-time job into 3 days. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, she's always working hard on the business stuff. Sometimes I want her to take more of a break. But she stays busy on it. She designs all our drawings for all our installs on our software, and does a lot of our tax stuff. Now, we do have an accountant that gets it all processed and makes sure everything in line, but getting it all prepared for her, Mallory's still doing all that stuff as well.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot.
Payroll. She just said from the other room, payroll from the office.
Nice, Mal.
Yeah, putting in that
awesome.
work.
He said now she's in the background telling a list of her job duties. She said ordering plants. What else?
Mallory, you may as well just come on in here and chat.
Picking up plants. They said you might as well just come on in here.
You're already listening, so come on in. That's good. What's going on, Mallory?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, we met you at Equip, gave you a big hug. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So just to build on what Kyle was saying about our foreman, he's got great sales background. And the way it works now is anytime we get a call, I usually set an appointment up to go out there and meet with the folks. And then depending on what they need, we can, email them a quote or get them a proposal sent over in Jobber for exception, for them to accept. And then I draw all the plans and get all the plants lined up and schedule all the pickups. And so I have a big job over here. And like Kyle said, I'm still working full time 3 days a week. So
wow,
keeping the ship running.
No kidding.
yeah, I'm trying to for sure. So
what are you designing your projects in? Are you using software?
Yeah, so we use Unilock pavers.
Okay.
And Unilock has a program that we've really come to like. The great feature of it is we can lay their block right in and the customer can see exactly what it's going to look like. But I do all of my installs on that same program. And it was just a one-time investment fee, which is really awesome because the ones that we looked into when we were doing it or looking into it in the beginning had like monthly service fees that you had to pay. And, that can get really costly. So we wanted to try to keep our figures down if we could. And still, I've got the Unilock rep if I ever get tangled up or if anything's, too complex that I'm not 100% confident in drawing out myself. So.
Because that's UVision, right, is the name of that one?
UVision, yes, yeah, that's correct.
That's the same as, I believe it's the same program I use, but it's not the Unilock version. It's the real time, I think. By Ideal Spectrum. I think Brandon has the same one. I'm pretty sure it's a very similar program, same idea, one time pay, and then because some of them are crazy expensive for like the monthly services and stuff. It's like I don't know about that, but yeah, the one time's nice, and then you're done and good to go.
Yeah, for sure. And it took me some time to learn how to like build the structure. That was probably the hardest thing. I can build the landscape beds and plug in the plants that I want, but actually like building the structure. And I think that really brings it to life to the customers.
Absolutely. Right. Like when you put the house and everything in there and then you show the customer, it's like, oh, this actually looks like my house. And then you can show the plants. And it's nice to be able to like, what I do with some stuff is I'll layer it and I'll swap out like different planting options just to kind of give them a few different versions, few clicks. And it's like, and that has the 3D walkthrough as well, I assume, does it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. No, I don't send that usually. I usually just send like the snippets or whatever. I'll do like, front, rear, aerial. I like how you can click back and forth from, I don't know exactly what the terms are. I think one says plan and then the other one says like, I don't know, portrait or something. Yeah, something like that. So, I can build the house and then, draw the landscape beds or the paver patio or whatever, and then I can pop out and see, what the 3D image looks like, and that's really neat.
Do you find that helps with selling jobs to customers, having that kind of feature to be able to give them like a rendering sort of it, or?
I do. One thing I like to let my customers know right off the rip is like the plant I'm going to show you is like mature plants and, they all might be in bloom at the same time. So those are things that, you just kind of have to let your customers know ahead of time that it's not going to look like this when we leave. This is like the mature version of what your house is going to look like. But I think it's very professional. And I really like the way we can drop it right into the proposal in Jobber so they can see, their stone choice. We can lay a picture in there. We can lay, a couple aerial views and a couple close-ups in there too. So it just kind of finishes things. One thing I think I need to get better at is, when I go to a property and they want a full install, I spend so much time on the drawing. And then if they don't follow up or, they decide that they're not going with the project, I mean, we've charged a few customers for that, but how do you guys usually handle that?
So what I started doing, I was finding the same thing a few years ago, and people were just kind of either taking the designs, I'd send it to them, and then we never hear back or whatever. So what I started doing is I charge like a fee. I think it's like, it might be like a couple $100, and it's basically almost like a deposit. But if they end up accepting the job, so say I charge $250 and they accept the job, that $250 goes towards their deposit on the main job. But if I never hear back from them again, I already billed them, charged them that $250, and then at least it covers a good chunk of your time to kind of do the design and meet with them and stuff. And at least that way you're getting something out of it versus someone just taking your design and running away.
Having a different company do the work.
Yeah.
Or doing the work themselves.
Yeah,
Mallory
we've had a
spent
few
a bunch
people
of
do
time.
that.
Mallory spent a bunch of time on a design and, talking with the nursery, finding out plant prices and all these different things. We went out and met with the people. Then we did a phone call with them for 30 minutes because it was a huge job, huge install. And then we feel that they just took our design and either had somebody else do the work or did the work themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And at that time, we didn't charge those people anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the charge then kind of roll it into like almost like a payment towards their job definitely works because they're at least committed to it at that point, right? That you're getting something back out of it to kind of cover at least some of the time on your end versus just give them the design for free. And because like some designs you can spend 2, 3, 5, 7 a full day on it, right? Depending how in detail it is, but it seems to work well for us. And usually everyone that's paid us that deposit for the design 9 times out of 10 they're going with you, so it kind of eliminates a lot of tire kickers too, I find. So
yeah, totally.
Nice. For sure. I think we've only been in a position where we've charged like a handful of people, and it's kind of been like I'll give you a free estimate, but the drawing is not the free estimate. Once we move into that state, I mean, I can tell you, this is a $5,000 or $6,000 job, but if you want it nailed down, I'm going to have to spend some time on it, and then get your approval on the plants and things like that. And, we haven't got stuck with it a ton, but I feel like you can almost tell the people that, they want to know how much it costs,
Yeah.
yeah, they're just shopping.
I know.
What you said is great. We've done the same thing for the ones that we have charged. We've said your design fee is X, but if you confirm the job, then that either falls off or that money goes towards the price of the job.
Yeah. Well, it just kind of gives them, because like you can easily say to somebody, oh yeah, we'll design you something, send them something shitty, and then just keep it $250 or whatever you want to charge them. But at least this way they know they're getting something for it, and they kind of gives them the kind of plan to stick with you and move forward in the project.
I think the way we've done it, actually, we've done it where it's your design fee is X, but your job price is this, and if you confirm the job, then that design fee falls off. So kind of basically the same thing you're doing, but just
nice.
Yeah,
okay. Cool. Mallory, you brought up Jobber a few times. How does Jobber help you guys navigate, your business life and make your life easier?
So I don't know if you guys have seen the video or not with me like chasing the guys with pieces of paper.
Yeah, we've seen it. That was good.
Well, that was like our life. So we pretty much operated with pen and paper for everything and souped up Excel spreadsheets. And the biggest thing was route density, right? Whether we're doing everyday day-to-day jobs or we're scheduling appointments or things like that. So we went from being all over the place and no organization. And, in the office, we have a million papers as it is without, notes of jobs and things like that. So Jobber has helped us stay organized. It's also helped us stay efficient. And the best part, I think, when we're out there working is that, all guys can have the Jobber app on their phone. They've got all of the instructions. So everything that I've laid out for them on the job. And typically what I do is, we send the notes to the client on what we're going to perform. And if they agree, then I just, drop them right in there to the notes. So if something gets missed, it's out of my control, right? It wasn't on my paper. It was on everybody's phone, and everybody has a phone. The other features is dropping the pictures. If I'm out there, doing a property visit, I can drop the photos right in. And then when I get back to the office, I can pull up UVision to be able to draw the sketch very easily. and also completing photos. So a lot of times I'm not out there, right? But I do the billing. And if something gets added on, I don't know about it unless there's a photo of it or if there's notes in there about it. How many times do you get out to a job and they say, oh, hey, do you think you can do that bed over there in the corner too? So if I'm not seeing that, they're essentially getting that for free. So it's really helped us when it comes to, just those things in general. Now we still use QuickBooks for all of our accounting. So we're not doing any billing or anything out of it. But we do like the schedule feature, the notes feature, the map feature, and the fact that we can use their quote as an official proposal contract so that, you email it out to them and then they will approve it and sign it, which we never had contracts before. We never bill anything ahead of time. Everything gets billed when it's completed because we want the customer to be happy and satisfied with the job that we do. So this kind of helps us on those larger jobs, number one, to make sure that we're going to get our money. And number two, that the customer understands exactly what we're going to do.
Nice.
Sounds pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Well, we love it. And we keep
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. It's tough to
Yeah,
beat. It's a good software.
Oh,
It
I know
helped us so much.
you go from unorganized and just a shit show to like some actual organization, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Some
It's
peace of
been a
mind.
game changer.
Oh, same here. I hear you. Oh, that's awesome. Guys, what's your future plans or kind of goals for the next year or two?
We always say that we want to grow at a slow, steady pace that we can keep things controlled and still keep our business as we grow a small family-owned operation where we can have close relationships with our clients. So we're not trying to build like a $5 million company. I think like a great goal would be to be like someday in several years, like 500K revenue or something like that, where I think in a couple of years we can get there. Really, we're trying to find good team members that we can bring on who want to join our company and dedicate themselves to their job, and maybe good guys that can stay with us long term that can be potential crew leaders. And if we can get 2, 3, maybe 4 guys like that around, then that'll give me an opportunity to maybe step my work in the field down to start doing more things, whether it's administrative, marketing, different things. And then our foreman can also step his stuff down in the field a little bit too. And he can start getting into more where he's doing most of our appointments and things like that. Maybe he'll be running and doing all our plant pickups and different things like that. So that's our long-term goal over the next 3, 4, 5 years, that we can get to a point where I don't have to be in the field all the time. Last year I wasn't in the field every day once we got out of the spring rush season. Still a majority of the days, but there were a few days where my foreman ran stuff and with the guys and I wasn't there. But at 5 years down the road, I'd like to only be there out in the field maybe when I want to, or to help on big projects. And then, our foreman maybe be there 3 days a week or 2 days a week in the spring rush season when we need his help on big projects. And then the rest of the time he's doing administrative things. And then we got two or three good guys that have been with us several years, running a couple crews with then maybe 2 or 3 other employees. I don't think I want to get ever bigger than really like maybe 5 employees minus myself and our foreman who are in the field now, like maybe 5, and then me and him could be 6, 7 if we needed to get out there and help. That'd probably be like the absolute max we would want to be at. You have any thoughts? Did that sum it up, or you think maybe she has different?
Yeah, I want to hear both of you.
Oh, so, ultimately my goal is to continue to keep the quality of our work superior, right? So, you know, a lot of these folks that are our customers now are our customers because, you know, the company that they work for got too big too fast. Or, you know, the company that they work for or they worked with before, let's say, you know, they did great quality work and then all of a sudden, you know, they didn't have good help anymore. So what I want to do in the next 4 or 5 years with this business is build it to where, you know, Kyle and Kevin can do more of what I do, and the quality can stay as good as what it is now. Now, with that being said, you know, obviously the bigger you grow, the more people that you have to have, and, you know, the more management you have to have and things like that. But we need to figure out a way to be the most profitable and the most efficient, right? So, you know, in springs past, Kyle's worked 60, 70 plus hour weeks in the spring. Like, that's not fair. So we would like to get out of that, and, you know, get it back to, you know, a 50-hour week. That would be good. Sophia's only 6 years old, and, you know, we want to do things. And so, you know, just, I want us to become efficient. I mean, I don't necessarily know that there's a number that I say like, oh, you know, we got to hit that. I mean, we have goals, but I think that we just need to continue to operate the reputable business that we have and not kill ourselves. You know, we're getting more equipment, so we're becoming more efficient that way, and we're finding tools to implement into our business, you know, that are making us more successful. Work smarter, not harder. That's what we're trying to do. But yeah, I mean, obviously in this line of work, I feel like in our area, you know, the installs and the hardscapes is where you make your money. But at the end of the day, you know, Kyle loves to mow. So, you know, we'll definitely keep that facet of our business going. And, you know, it's rewarding to see those stripes, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was less
it
back
totally is.
breaking too.
What'd you say?
Mowing's a little less strenuous on your body.
No kidding.
Compared to going and putting 8 tons of rock down and installing 10 trees.
So maybe a little less king spade stump removals, eh?
Yeah.
Maybe bring the skid steer in for that. Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. What's one piece of advice from both of you that you can tell people listening?
I would say, and I just tell a lot of people, guys getting started in the green industry, is quality is number one. You got to do the best work. We haven't done a ton of marketing for our business, very little marketing as far as ads. We've run like maybe 5 Facebook ads over the last couple years. And other than that, our business has just grown through word of mouth. And somewhat of a social media presence, but we're not paying for any advertising. We're not doing door hangers. We're not sending out the cards in the mail, the postcards. We don't pay for any ads, but our quality has been top notch, and we leave our jobs looking pristine. And those people are our best supporters and our best advertisers, telling friends, family, and neighbors about our work, and then we latch on to those people when they call. And then when you do that quality work, we talked about it a little bit before, then those people are going to never leave you. They're never going to call another landscaper to save $100 on their spring cleanup and mulch when they know you're going to come in and do a phenomenal job in the spring. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, is if you want to get into this industry and start a green industry business, that quality should be number one. Also, one other tidbit I just want to throw in there. One thing I think's really helped us is get your Google business listing up and running and 5-star reviews. We have a perfect rating so far, and I fear that one day, some way or another, someone may give us a 4-star. But we have like 52 5 stars or something like that right now.
Wow.
And you look at the big companies, there's several big companies in our area that have been around 40 years, and they probably don't ask or really think about that, which they don't need to. But they might have 7 5-star reviews, or some of the other small businesses our size or even smaller. You see their Google business listing, they got 3 5-star reviews. I think when people search on Google, which most people do if they don't know of a company, they search landscape company in my area and they see, oh, Briner's Lawn and Landscape, 52 5-star reviews. They must be doing something right. And that goes back to our quality. When our customers, most of them, they're more than happy to leave that 5-star review and put some nice comments in there because of the good work that we do with their properties. So that's what I got for advice.
Glad you threw in the Google My Business, because that's the best unkept secret. Don't want to say it too loud, but
yeah. So if you can get in the 3-pack, that's where you want to be. So when somebody Googles landscaping in my area, the top 3.
Oh yeah.
That's the 3-pack. So you got to have your algorithm just right, your Google reviews. So
the old 3-pack.
The biggest thing that I would tell, men and women that want to start a landscape business, or maybe they just started a landscape business, is create a plan, right? Set yourself goals, be honest with yourself, and, try to stay positive, because it's not all rainbows and, stripes and happiness all the time, right? In the heat of the spring, it's really, really tough. It's not easy. And if it is easy, then you're not maxing your capacity, So set goals, look towards your goals, stay positive, and like Kyle said, the quality and customer service. I mean, people want to talk to you, give the customer time to tell you what they're looking for. And if you continue to do those things, then you're going to have a successful business. And, surround yourself with positive people, surround yourself with people in the same industry that are successful. Read books and listen to podcasts, all those things are going to be, they're going to help you to get the next step in your business.
Nice. That was great, guys. Both of them. Awesome. Cool. Anything else to add? Maybe where people can find you on socials. I'll post your links below, but
yeah, so we can be found on Instagram and TikTok at Briner Lawn. It's Breiner. The way our name's spelled, sometimes people get that wrong, so I'll throw that in there. And then on Facebook.com/Briner Lawn, you can find us there as well, and our website, brinerlawn.com.
Beauty, man.
Should definitely check you out on Instagram. You guys kill it on there.
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah,
we're
Kyle's always
heavily on Instagram.
Yeah, you're posting something every day. I'm always liking, commenting, sharing your stuff, right?
Yep, I appreciate the support. We gotta all support each other. That's just one last tidbit. Mallory kind of touched on it a little bit. Networking is huge, social media people to network with. Go to some of these live events, whether it be Equip or some of the other live events. I know more and more guys are throwing events, whether it be Brian Fullerton's event or Cornell Mack. I know he's throwing an event here in a week or two out in Pennsylvania. Get to some of the live events and meet others in the industry who you can network with, become friends with, and those are all people to lean on for advice, things like that. And it just can only help you as you run and grow your successfyou businesses.
Yeah, totally. I know I've said this before. The green industry is so welcoming and supportive. If you have any questions, someone's always willing to, help you out. I know, Martin, you've been helping me along here because you've been in my shoes not too long ago. So always bouncing stuff off you.
Yeah. Try to anyways. I give advice. Some of it works, some doesn't. But hey, live and learn.
Figure it
And
out.
hey, maybe we'll figure something out later, late summer or early fall, if
Yeah.
gets a little slow around here, we get a second to take a breather, maybe we can take a day off and come up to Canada.
Drive
now you're
up.
talking.
I heard
Come
you're
on.
a big fan
Yeah.
of driving, Mallory.
Yeah.
No, no. I will. He can drive, and I'll meet him there.
All right.
He can pick you up
You'll
at
fly.
the airport.
Yeah,
Right.
on his way through.
Hey, then we won't have to rent a car.
There you go.
That's not any cheaper.
No.
No kidding. Nice. Well, you guys let us know, and you're welcome over anytime.
We will.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
And if not, I'm sure we'll meet up at Equip again this year.
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
That was
Definitely
a blast.
will. Yeah, we got to do some dinner something this year. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we definitely do hang out a little more. I know we hung out last time, but we'll stay in touch when it gets close to that time, and we'll plan something.
Yeah, maybe we can do a live pod down there. That'd be a good time too.
That would be great, like midway through.
Yeah.
We're going to go down for the whole time this year. We skipped out a day early.
Right. You had to get back and do a job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got down there for the jobber meetup. Was that Tuesday evening?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Gordy Mitchell's at the whiskey bar? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we
Right.
showed up halfway through that event. We may try to get down there just a couple hours earlier that day and then stay for Friday because we left out. After the expo Thursday afternoon at 5:00, we just jumped in the truck and drove 2.5 hours back home. But we'd like to stay down there a little bit more time so we can do more things with guys like you and enjoy it a little bit more and network a little more.
Yeah. Martin and I were saying we want to go for the whole week. Like we want to full send it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because they have all these like awesome concerts on the Saturday. Like Aldine was playing. And I thought this could be a good time. So
Might as well make a full vacation out of it.
That's right.
Well, yeah, we had a great time at a couple of those meetup events we went to Tuesday and Wednesday, and then here we are driving home, getting home Thursday evening, and I see everybody's posts and stuff from the meetup Thursday night, and I was like bummed that we were missing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the jobber meetup. Yeah. We kind of missed it too.
Yeah.
Oops. We got carried away. But that's okay. We were talking about jobber, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Well, that's good. I can't wait to see you guys and have a great season and appreciate you having us on and letting me horn in on the deal.
Oh yeah. Thanks so much for coming in, Mal. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope you guys have a great season and all the best. We'll talk throughout the year. So
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us on.
yeah, for sure. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks so much for listening. Like, subscribe, review the pod. That helps us keep doing what we're doing. So if there's nothing else, fellas, we'll see you next Tuesday.
We want to thank you for listening to the Crooked Stripes podcast. If you liked this episode of the pod, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Head over to Instagram and follow @The Crooked Stripes. From there, stay up to date on all things lawn, landscaping, and snow removal. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode of The Crooked Stripes. Thanks again for listening.